This is Darrell Lawrence, and you're watching Reelblack.
Lights, camera, action, it's on. New black film revolution born. Movers, shakers, big and little filmmakers. Let's make a movie today, see where it take us. Halle Berry, Denzel, and Jamie. Terrence Howard, Mike D, and Spike Lee. Brand new filmmaker born every day. Put a camera in his hand and let him lead the way. Let me get an Oscar, let me get an Emmy.
You told them 6 o'clock, right? You should have told them 4, because then they would have been here on time.
Where your Christmas spirit at? Come on.
Well, welcome to Philadelphia.
Thank you.
How are you enjoying things here?
This is my 3rd time here, and I still haven't gotten a chance to really explore the city like I'd like to. I'm always working or promoting something every time I come.
Right. Have you had a cheesesteak yet?
No, I haven't, but I heard on our way to the airport, we are picking one up, so.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Well, to jump right in, tell us about your new film and your role in it.
The new film is called This Christmas. It is a beautiful film. It makes you laugh, it makes you cry. I play the eldest sister. It's 6 siblings, 3 boys, 3 girls. And we were all kind of born boy, girl, boy, girl.
Okay.
We all have our issues, and we all come home for the first time in a long time and celebrate Christmas together. And with many families during the holidays, haven't been together for a while, things break loose.
Right, absolutely.
And we deal with them.
Now I just gotta find the right way and the time to tell her, that's all.
Them young girls, they don't forget it.
Well, I'll be damned. It's impossible for that boy to be honest with you.
Honest about what? Where's Clyde?
He's AWOL. He's in jail.
I came home because I promised Sandy.
Who's Sandy?
Do I know you?
That's your daughter-in-law. This is not funny. No, it's not, but I'm gonna keep drinking until it is.
So what attracted you to the role of Lisa Whitfield?
Most of the characters that I play in the past have been very strong women. And Lisa's character is a submissive woman. She's not as strong as the women that I've played in the past. She's the person that, you know, allows someone to walk over her.
Okay.
And I just felt as an actress that was gonna be a challenge to execute this in an honest way.
Right.
And she has an arc, so she doesn't remain that way.
Okay, good. Good. We love the arc,
Yes.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned you played a lot of strong roles in the past, one of which was in Ray, which we loved you in, absolutely. When you were filming Ray, did you have any idea that it would reach the pinnacle that it did? That you were going to be a part of something absolutely amazing?
I'd have to say yes. I wouldn't say that I knew immediately from the beginning. I knew that when my son, at the time when we were shooting, was 8 or 9, knew who Ray Charles was.
Okay.
I realized that this is a man that there's not a person that doesn't know who he is or is not familiar with one of his songs. So as I read the script and saw all these things that I did not know about him, started to kind of get the feeling there. Then I see Jamie as Ray, and he's no longer Jamie, he is Ray. Started to feel that even more then. And then some of the performances that we had, you could just feel the magic in the room.
Energy come alive.
So
Yes. Now I have to ask you, as a veteran actress that we have so much respect and love for, who's been in the game for so long, and you really are a staple in the Black community. When we go all the way back to Brenda, and then we follow your career and the different leaps that you've made. 2 questions. What do you feel the current state of blacks in film and Black film is? And how do you sustain yourself for so long?
It's a blessing. First of all, I give it first and foremost to Father, Mother, God. I don't believe that all of these beautiful things could possible and be possible when you only look at it in a masculine way. It's from both ways. So it starts there.
Okay.
And I wish that there were more representation of us on the small screen and the big screen. I wish that we were represented in more ways than we are normally represented, is just the friend or the wife or the sidekick, you know, and I've been all of those. And by no means am I saying I would change it, but I do believe that slowly but surely there has been evidence of change. It's because when I think about women actors of color, I put Asian, Spanish, and Black all in the same category. And I have to, because the fight has got to be for all of us. Because, I mean, Asian people, women have Lucy Liu, and who else? And the two women from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So when I look at it that way, thank God, you know, for being Black. It looks like it's great for Black actresses when you compare it to how underrepresented Asian actresses are. A lot of us have production companies, and we are creating situations and stories so that we can be on screen more.
Absolutely, wonderful. Well, thank you. Do you have any current projects on deck or final thoughts?
Final thoughts, just go see this Christmas, because you will feel like you got a hug by the end of the movie. You truly will. It's such a treat. You laugh, you cry, you recognize some of yourself or someone you know in this movie. And don't buy the bootleg, dude.
Right. Yes.
Seriously. I mean,
So
you don't realize how much it hurts us as a community.
Right.
When we complain about they don't ever have the Black movie comes out once or twice a year. Well, when you buy that bootleg and it doesn't translate to dollars and cents in the movie theater, the studios aren't going to continue to greenlight film. So, you know, go to the matinee if you can't afford it.
Right, save some money. Just go.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're probably asking yourself right now, what is Reelblack? Reelblack is a Philadelphia-based production company dedicated to promoting African-American film. In addition to this show, we also host 2 film screenings per month here in the city. You can check out our website to join our mailing list or look for a full-page ad each month and rolling out weekly. Here's a clip from one of our upcoming shows.
One more gig. And you off. There's no real workup on this one. There's no security, no bodyguards, no defenses to speak of. It's a straight walk and pop.
Yes?
Diane Shaw?
Oh my God, it's you. Oh, it's you. I can't believe it. Oh my God. Mama, this is JB. This is your grandson.
This boy ain't no kin to me.
This family has never had anything like you.
Take her out, Tate, or walk. This is about millions of dollars.
This one's not going down. You tell him, no job here.
The type of environment that I was brought up in South Philly, everything was, the majority was negative. Had a lot of drug dealing, which I'm guilty of. Had a lot of gambling, which guilty of. There was a lot of things that was going on, and there wasn't nobody talking about films or being a filmmaker. As a matter of fact, when I first told my friends that this is something that I think that I might want to do, they laughed at me. They laughed right in my face, and it was kind of embarrassing, and I felt ashamed to tell other people, thinking I'm gonna get the same reaction. So what I did was, I kept it to myself, and I was going to a couple of auditions and doing a couple of things without telling my friends, because I thought that they would laugh at me. And this is something that, over a period of time, thought that this is something that, maybe this is something that I really want to do, and I didn't want them to distract me or deter me from wanting to pursue my goal. I love filmmaking so much because if it wasn't for filmmaking, I don't know where my life would be right now.
The past 17 years, I've been in my own little zone.
My movie, Life Isn't Fair, is about a young man at the age of 3, watched his mother and little sister get killed in an automobile accident. That did something to his mindset. So at the age of 11, his grandmother couldn't deal with him anymore. So she sent him to a disciplinary camp for troubled youth. It was only supposed to be for a year, but around the 8th month, he got into an altercation, and that altercation landed him 9 years. Ricky now is 20 years old. He's coming back to South Philly for a positive outlook on life with a positive mind frame. The first love of the entertainment, filmmaking aspect came from acting first. When I was an extra in Denzel Washington's movie, Fallen, I had an opportunity to speak with him one-on-one, and he gave me words of encouragement, saying, when you are in front of the camera, you're portraying the character, become the character, be the character. Do not ever act the character, feel the character. Don't just get in front of the camera and read lines, because people can see through that. The greatest challenge to me was the whole thing. It was writing, acting, directing, producing, executive producer, because again, I had no knowledge of none of it. This was my first thing. I was a novice. I was a nobody to, the industry. And actually, the first time I shot it, because I shot Life Isn't Fair twice. The very first time I shot it, the story again was okay, but the way we shot it was, I will admit, it was awful. It was awful. So after I watched it, I said, you know what? There are so many things, if I had a chance to do over, I would do over. So my director of photography and also my editor and good friend, Terrence Morrison, he said, let's break it down piece by piece and let's reshoot it. So when I did it again the second time, that's when I felt comfortable to have a premiere, have a screening, and also I was confident enough to put it into 2 festivals. And in doing so, it won at the Philadelphia International Film Festival Market, and I also won at the Jacarra Michelle Film Festival in Georgia for highest achievement for new filmmaker. I'm so happy that Life Isn't Fair is going to be premiering at the Pearl Movie Theater, a block away from Temple University, starting November the 8th for a 2-week run. That's something that I'm very proud of. That's every independent filmmaker's dream, to have their movie actually shown in a real movie theater. So that's something that I'm very proud about. It's a dream of mine, and I'm just so happy that a lot of people can see my dream come true, because it is possible, it can happen, but you have to follow your dream, you have to, pray on it, and you have to do the right thing, and these things will happen for you. When people see this film and they see that Darrell Lawrence was the character Ricky, when they see Darrell Lawrence was the writer and the director, it's so funny, because I never thought of these questions when I was doing it. I just did it for the love of it. Now, there are going to be people who are going to say things about my writing or my directing or my acting, but I just want them to take me serious as a filmmaker, as a writer, as a director, and as an actor. But I know there's so much more that I have to learn, and I'm willing to learn, because this is my passion. Hey everybody, this is Darrell Lawrence, along with Mr. Mike Dennis, and you're watching Reelblack. Remember, Life Isn't Fair at the Pearl Movie Theater, Broad in Oxford, November the 8th. So make sure you come.
Set amongst the urban decay and the unfettered angst of Los Angeles,
Put that away, come on.
Is that you? Jesus?
Police Detective John Smith battles alcoholism and cynicism.
State Department's some time and money, man. Just close this case. She was a prostitute.
Going about his daily routine, initially John remains complacent over a seemingly ordinary prostitute murder.
Probably Deadly John.
But when John's intuition awakens, he experiences revealing visions about the victim and her murder. John must conquer his vices and overcome his skepticism to embrace intuition, question the unusual suspects, and allow his visions to illuminate the truth. A smartly written, modern-day metaphysical tale. The 23rd Psalm ushers in a new generation of urban transcendental cinema, beautifully lensed and highly stylized and dazzling high-definition cinematography. The 23rd Psalm is an evolved exegesis of the human psyche.
I'm a businessman.
Shut up! It was a miracle, I tell you.
Why did you kill Jesse?
I took an oath.
Man of God. Who gave you the right? Help me help you.
The 23rd Psalm.
It makes me wanna get up and begin my day while starting on my journey. Open my mouth and say, oh, yes, indeed. I'll do it. Wherever you want me to go.
You know, I've obviously done a lot of radio and I've done acting. I've been on the other side. It's really great to be on the other side and watching the actors come sweat bullets for me. But I've always wanted to direct. You know, I always wanted to have that control. And I'm not a control freak, but that's one of the reasons why, you know, I go out and get my own investors. So I don't have a studio saying, you need to make the film like this. And because once they invest, they try to take over. And action.
Hi, I'm Shivani. I'm sitting with TV and radio personality Russ Parr.
Hi, I'm Russ Parr, and I'm a radio, where's my script? Radio TV personality, and I'm legendary. Thank you.
What was your inspiration for this film?
I actually wrote this movie about 10 years ago. I actually used to do stand-up comedy when I was first, you know, trying to get into the entertainment business, because I thought, okay, if I do stand-up comedy, most comedians wind up on television and movies and things like that. And the behind the scenes of the comedy club was nothing like what I expected. It was, it's a very sad existence. You know, you see these people, they're laughing, they're smiling all the time. But in reality, they have so many demons. And most comedians that have seen this movie say, man, you hit it dead on, you know, because it is reality.
I was at the store the other day. I mean, supermarket. Y'all call it out here in L.A.
The antagonist is the big spotlight. Because when you're a beginner, that spotlight, it's a beacon of fear.
You ain't shit, and you ain't never gonna be shit.
And you can't see anything in the audience. But as you get better as a comedian, that light kind of goes away in your eyes and you can actually see the audience. This film is about like 4 young African Americans that go to Hollywood and try to make it. Obviously, there is a suicide. One of them jumps off the roof of a building. You don't know who it is until the end of the movie, because they all give you 4 very compelling reasons as to why they would be the ones to jump off the building. So the movie is loosely based on my life. I embellished some things to add to the drama. A guy did jump off the building, but it wasn't one of my friends. But that was just to have a storyline. But all the things that happened in the film did happen.
So from TV to comedy, radio, you've now taken the director's chair. This is the new hat that you're wearing.
Right.
What has your experience been as a first-time writer-director?
You know, that's a good question, because, you know, I was a little concerned. I've directed lots of TV. And directing TV is totally different from directing film. I think one of the big things for me with directing is that you have these big stars, and you're concerned that they're not going to follow your direction. And then when I was doing this movie, The Last Stand, you know, I had Guy Torrey, who's a method actor, and Darren DeWitt Henson, who's also a method actor. And they have 2 different styles, 2 different approaches. And they had a couple of scenes together. And these guys were, it wasn't like they were competing, but they were just in their world. And I'm like, oh, first-time director feature film, and I had to deal with that. So I had to figure out a clever way to reach them while they're in character, because if you know anything about method acting, these cats stay in character, you know, and you don't know who you're talking to. Are you talking to Guy or Darren, or are you talking to the character? So I figured it out. I'm not going to reveal exactly how I did it, because I don't want it to come off like I'm a genius or anything, but it made the scene work, you know. I think the big thing was getting used to everybody treating you like you're a god on the set. Hey, the director's coming in, walk in. Oh, here comes Russ, here comes Russ. And I'm not that kind of guy. You know, on my first day of shooting, I told everybody, hey, look, I'm going to need you for 22 days. Some days are going to be long days. If you're tired and you've accomplished what you've already accomplished, you want to sit down, that's fine. And these are all union guys looking around like, God, that's a setup. I said, no, really. And what I used to do at the end of the day, I used to buy beer and wine for the crew, and my producers were really upset. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to blow it. But the interesting story is because I like to be liked. That's just a big problem of mine. And I get used sometimes. But what happened was when we were shooting in LA, somebody called the union. And because we were non-union, we had to use union actors, obviously. But the crew was non-union. So they called the union in to try to bust us, you know, bust the union. You know, hey, listen, guys, you walk on him, we'll get you your union status. Well, they almost walked. But one of the guys said, man, we can't do this to Russ because he's treated us good. The guy buys us beer, he takes us to dinner. And when I thought about it, everybody telling me, don't do that for those guys. I thought, see, it pays to be a good person, you know, and show them that you really care. And they didn't burn me, because it would have cost me an extra $1 million, you know, if they walked. That would have been a problem.
Well, every crew member is vital to creating a film.
Mm-hmm. And that's another point. I'm glad you said that, because I like the input of everybody. Whether I use it or not, I didn't want them to ever stop, because sometimes somebody's idea might trigger something that I know will work, you know. And so, and I do that around here. I mean, my interns here on the radio station, they'll tell you, I'll put you on the radio.
T.I. up in here.
You know, I don't care. You know, if you got something that you can bring to the table, I'll do that. A lot of people, oh, you can't put them on. I work with people, you just put anybody on the radio. It'll take anybody's idea. Well, how are you going to grow? I think so many people get to the point, well, I'm a big star, I've arrived, I can't listen to anybody. That's crap. You can always learn.
Yeah, American Gangster.
American Gangster?
Yeah, Denzel, Russell Crowe.
Denzel Washington in that joint?
Yeah. ODW, yeah, DW.
Oh,
DW. Yeah, ODW.
So did you feel any pressure, like acting with somebody like Denzel?
I mean, nah, man, me and Shawty, man, we got along just fine, and he actually offered a lot of insight, man. You know, he told me I was there for a reason, man. All I got to do is do me.
This movie is going to video. Warner Home Video is taking it to video. And, you know, back in the day, they're like, oh, straight to video, it must be a crappy movie. Actually, Warner paid a lot of money for the film because they really believed in the film. But I think the big thing is that, you know, just because it's going to video doesn't take away from how credible the movie is. I've shown this movie in a number of theaters where we were in Richmond about a month or so ago, and they gave us like a 90-second standing ovation. Everywhere I've gone, and I've shown this film in Miami, in Los Angeles, in Atlanta, just all over the country, nothing but rave reviews about it. And I'm pretty modest, and I hate to say it for myself, but I think that people need to go see it for themselves, and they'll see that this is really a good movie. It'll keep you entertained. It'll keep you on the edge of your seat.
Buy the DVD. Don't bootleg.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, what's up? It's legendary DJ Chuck Chillout, hanging out with my man Touch Tone.
Hey.
Dropping records in here. Yeah, Ellen, my man DJ Tactics. You know, we got Joe Rockhead right here. Right here, we got my man Ilk the Nasty from Jersey, taking over the camera. My man Chris Lowe.
Dropping records.
All right, my man DST.
What's up, baby?
We in here.
Yo, Chuck, we're not finished with you, baby. A little more. Give us a little more of that NYC flavor. All right, come on, let's go. Street Beat on a Sunday is Philly 103.9. Ho! to my show. I just thought of saying. Representing New York City, ladies and gentlemen, Chillout. Let's go. Come on, yeah.
We gonna get on down.
Walk through closet doors and roam all over Coliseum floors. I stand on stage.
109.
Hey, KDB, how you doing?
I'm chilling, girl. I'm in my world. I'm like in old school heaven right now.
Girl, I am in my world.
I'm in here sweating it. I had curls. I had curls when I came to work. I had none. Okay.
Nah, they told me you be out there holding it down, man.
Together forever behind me. In the alley, dirt road on the street. I wear my Adidas right around the feet. What's in the alley? Every show I go, it's the beat around my feet. Go hot shot. In the alley.
Kiss, back in the day, kisses.
In the alley, got 50 fans. Got blue and black, good, chill, and yellow and green when it's time to get we took the beat, put it on beat.
Cash Money does his thing. You know, first time I saw him, I was amazed.
We started in the alley, started in the alley, started in the alley, started in the alley. Now we're in the
I'm not gonna be doing all this. I can't do all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play my records. I'm gonna bang you in the head with some hits, and I'm gonna go home.
and I won't trip my beat up on the beat. In the alley, now we chillin' Cali, and I won't trip my beat up on the beat.
Wow.
Event money, all I can say is you picked a really bad night to come in late, girl.
I know. I was like, the way the show was rocking, I said, I still gotta go, honey. I still gotta
Okay,
go.
you just had to come up here.
Yes,
You
even
hear
if
that,
it's
honey?
the last few
You
minutes.
still had to
I
come,
still
honey.
had, shut up.